Poetry for me is as much a spiritual practice as sexual ecstasy. Next on Journey Undefined, a 2-part series on sex and spirituality. Is there truly a connection? Let's explore the mystery, the myths, and the truths behind the hush-hush reputation of what we call sex.
I'ma do it just for my sake. Forget the highway, a flyway. I'm on a high chase. I'm Uncle Sam when it's Friday.
All right. Okay, so welcome to Journey Undefined. I am your host, CC, and this is my Professor X. How you doing? You doing okay?
How you doing? I'm doing well, and you? I'm doing good. Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm good. Okay, so y'all, this is a podcast where we will ask all the uncomfortable questions, answer them, ask them, and together we'll find out the answers. Some way, somehow, down this path called life, we'll get it together. So nobody's perfect. So let's get it moving and stuff. So
exactly.
So what we talk about today?
This is a judgment. Yeah. So wait, let me hit it now. This is a judgment-free zone. So anything that goes on, it's judgment-free.
In the podcast, stays on the podcast.
Stays in the podcast.
But let me say our little disclaimer.
Where we're accepting calls and all and questions. Whatever you talk about is confidential. There's a judgment-free zone here, so you don't have to worry about that being repeated or whatever, unless you want it to be. And it's our mission to help everybody, including ourselves, on this journey called life.
Exactly. Now, what we have to let everybody know, because everybody's grown, but some topics may be sensitive in nature. So we're asking for our audience to be of the mature, people. You know what I'm trying to say. Please be mature about this, because I don't want to get no comments or anything from some crazy mess. Oh my God, Carmen, she said.
Yes, keep the negativity in the comments to a minimum. Miss us with that. We don't need to hear any negativity. We're trying to bring love and light and uplift people, make people laugh, make people think, make people question themselves and heal or change the way they've been doing things. There's no room for negativity on this podcast.
Not at all. Now, that being said, let's get it.
Get it.
Okay, so today's subject is I'm
parched. Today's subject is, why is sex so taboo?
Why, people?
Especially in this country. When you travel, when you go to Europe, when you go to other countries, people are much more liberal. They're much more free. But as a result, their rates of rape and teen pregnancies and adultery and all these things that we think are so negative here, they have much lower rates of all of that other places. And it's because people have healthy conversations. They're introduced to sexual topics, sexual energy, just it's a bug in here, how to interact and communicate with other people on that level at such an early age. It's like indoctrinated. It's not taboo. It's not, this is dirty. This is nasty. It's life. We all do it. So.
No. I 1,000,000% agree, because I was looking up some stuff and I saw that on the CDC, it says that 55% of kids, they talking about 15 to 19, they have had intercourse, anal or oral sex. So I'm like, okay,
it
can't be that taboo. No, it can't be that taboo.
Everybody's doing it.
And then they're saying that 84 out of 100 people that decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to continuously have sex, 84 of them people get pregnant. So guess what? Your baby daddy. Come on.
Yeah. And we haven't even talked about sexually transmitted diseases and things that you can't get rid of.
And see, the thing of it is that before you go out and you have sex, you need to think about that connection that you're going to have. Not just the taboo of sex, but you know what I mean? What kind of connection are you going to have with this person? You feel what I'm saying? Because when I was young, my mother, the only thing that my mother said was, don't take your ass out there and get pregnant. Don't bring no babies home.
That's it.
That was that right there. That right
just
there.
Don't be a statistic.
Exactly. Look, that right there was my sex education. Don't bring your fast ass in here with no babies.
Well, I'm going to counter that because mine was slightly different. I got that too. Don't get me wrong. When I was a little older, I got that. But I will say that my mother did a wonderful job because she got the same thing that you just talked about and the same thing that she gave me older. But she did. I cannot think of the names of them, and I wanted to get them in time for the podcast. And when we're editing it, we'll go ahead and put the names, in the credits or down below, so you guys can reference these books if they're still in print. But when I was probably about 8, I was about 7 or 8 years old. There were 2 really wonderful books. The first book was about puberty, womanhood, manhood, and all that. And it was called What's Happening to Me. And it just talked about the body changing from, and that's a whole nother thing. The kids are hitting puberty at like 8, 9, and 10 years old now versus, I think I was 12, when I first got into womanhood. I was in 7th grade. So I was 12 or 13. I know it was my first year of junior high school. But kids now, they're like 8, 9, and 10 years old, getting on their cycles already. It's crazy. So you've got to prepare these young women, especially, and young men, but you got to prepare them early. Anyway, back to the book. It was called What Is Happening to Me? And it was kid friendly. It wasn't too graphic, but it did have like cartoon pictures, but of the anatomical structure of the man and of the woman. So you saw like a little bit of the, the sprouting hair, and it talked about the man's deepening voice. It talked about the cycle and all the changes that both genders go through in the same book. And then the partner book to that, or the second book in the series, was called Where Do Babies Come From? And it talked about the whole talked about the sexual journey. The man and the woman get together, It talked about the gestational period of the baby. It talked about the fertilization with the sperm meeting the egg, but it had cute little cartoon, like I said, kid-friendly pictures. And it's a really good resource. And like I said, if I can still find it and if it's still in print, we'll definitely share those on the next episode, because this hopefully is going to turn into a series of episodes under the sexual umbrella. So I'll sneak it back in somewhere later.
Okay, cool. So,
but those are good tools and good resources to begin a dialogue with your children very early, so that they have a healthy attitudes towards sex, towards the opposite sex. It's not nasty, it's not dirty, and it's also not unrealistic. I mean, I just think in this day and age, I know what we were taught as children, especially growing up in the church. We don't play that.
We're
not supposed to. Right. Exactly. So it's like, but they make you feel so ashamed, and it's so dirty, and it's not. It's one of the most beautiful things that it's a gift that God gave us. And it's supposed to be shared between people that love each other. But sometimes marriage ain't in the cards, and you're not going to hold on. So people are doing it earlier and earlier. So it needs to be talked about.
Right. Because
in a healthy way.
Like we talked about before, we were talking about how sex is really intimate. It's intimate, but it's still taboo. It's hush hush in some of the homes and everything. But what my question is that even though sex is so hush hush in the home and everything, it doesn't matter where you are. Isn't sex a part of spirituality? Because isn't there an exchange? You feel what I'm saying? And stuff. So I'm wondering, when I was young, did my mother and stuff, but then I'm like, okay, nah, they didn't know nothing about no energy exchange or nothing like that. They just didn't want no grandkids coming in the house. Exactly. But now,
pay for them.
Exactly. But now, since a lot of people are really, they're out here, I don't want to say exploring, but they're exploring who they are and where they come from and everything. And they're like, okay, God is God, but God is also the universe. God is this, God is that. You know what I mean? The spirituality and sex, are they in the same box? You feel what I'm saying? Are they in the same box? Are they connected some kind of way? You know what I mean, what do you think? Because if it's with spirituality, that means, is it kind of moving out of the taboo, out of the taboo box? Or then when you look at,
but it's always been spiritual, Carmen. It always has been. Man put and the church, and no disrespect, because I love church. I was raised in it the whole nine. But
you and me both.
It's really control people. So man put some of that stuff in there to keep everybody in control, to keep people from being hot in the ass or promiscuous or whatever you want to call it. And to keep order and to keep the population down, but it's always spiritual. Think about it. the act of having sexual intercourse, making love, whatever you want to call it, creates life. It's the process through which God quickens you, and there's a life that is formed inside of the belly. So it's always been a spiritual thing. We, and when I say we, I mean mankind, have put a negative spin on it. We've put that. So it's all the spirituality has always been there. It's just been overlooked, or it's been removed to push somebody else's agenda for what they think is the proper way for people to be.
Now that I can understand, because the thing is, when I was young and I was in the church, my grandmother had us in choir, youth choir, you name it, usher board. It didn't matter what it was. Me and my cousin was in it. But the funny thing is that
summer conference every year.
You feel what I'm saying?
Church van.
Girl, what? I mean,
all of it.
What you doing this weekend, man? I gotta go. I got a whole youth choir concert. Oh, I got mass choir of Alabama concert. You feel what I'm saying?
Junior usher board.
You feel what I'm saying? But the thing of it is that, not getting off the subject, but she kept me and my cousin, which we were the only two girls. They kept us in there, but the boys were free. They wasn't in no usher board, no youth, nothing, no choir, nothing, no blah blah, nothing. They weren't even in church like that.
If you're in church, your legs are closed. Yeah, but if you're in church, your legs are closed, and you're not being curious, you're not being out in the street. I know, but I'm just saying, back then they already knew, it's already preconditioned that men are going to roam, so it's okay to let them do what they do. But they try to keep us chaste and keep us, shut down.
But see, the thing of it is that I will say this: that even with when we used to go on little trips and whatever and stuff like that, sex wasn't something that even the kids of the church spoke about. You feel what I'm saying? If you spoke about it, you were considered some little fast ass or something like that. Exactly. And everything. Don't hang around such and such because she fast. She done had a kid and da 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 da.
But isn't it ironic that the preacher's kids, the church kids, be the worst?
Be the fast girl. They be so fast. You think that's the
oxymoron. That's the whole ironic thing about it all. They were all the very ones who were trying to keep you protected and chaste and safe and with the chastity belt on, were the main ones who were out there slinging it around. They were faster than everybody else.
But see, and their parents were the main ones that were putting this whole negative label on sex. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff like that. It would. I don't want to say it would be peer pressure. So what do you call it? Religious pressure?
Pretty much. But think about it. When you tell anybody, it's funny because I was having this conversation with my son. I gotta be careful not to say name, with my son earlier today. And as soon as you tell somebody don't do something, the pressure's on. They do the opposite. It makes them want to do it even more, even if they weren't even necessarily thinking about it. The fact that you say don't or stop or no, it puts their mind on it. It puts their energy there. Well, why is she telling me I can't do it? It must be good, because they try to keep all the good stuff away. And that's when they go headed in the other direction. So I think that's another reason that healthy conversations need to be had, healthy ones, where you answer their questions to the best of your ability, so that there's not that that curiosity or that negative connotation with it. Because if you say don't, they go do it.
I agree. Now, because sex is so out, not that it's out there right now and everything.
It is.
I'm just saying, I'm trying not to say girl is, but it is. You know what? Everything you look at, Coca-Cola commercial is some kind of subliminal sex. You look at a diaper commercial, it's sex.
Nicki Minaj,
a
Cardi
tampon
B,
commercial.
Megan Thee Stallion. All these people that they look up to, the Kardashian girls. Everybody's got.
They're sexualized. Everything is sexualized.
And they're hypersexual. Yeah. That is the new norm. So for them to act like it's so taboo, I can't tell. It sells, and you're putting it all over the media. You're inundating them. All they see is they're programmed.
Right. But I mean, sex sells, but they still want to keep it in the closet. They still want to lock that. They still want to lock sex up and be like, hey, you know what?
They do, but they know the kids emulate what they see. They're impressionable, at least at a certain age.
But see, because it's put in their face all the time, every time,
desensitized,
right, and stuff. And so is it because it's in your face so much? Because I understand that when you have sex is supposed to be sex supposed to be only done when you want to make a baby.
Procreation.
Y'all know that don't happen and stuff like that. But the thing is that coming back to the spirituality part of sex and everything. Okay, so we supposed to have sex with the partner that we have chosen because that's the energy that we want to exchange with. That's what we want to connect with. Because when you're doing that energy exchange, am I right? When you're doing that energy exchange and you're having sex and everything, if you with the wrong motherfucker, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. If you with the wrong person, you feel what I'm saying? You got some messed up energy. That means you got some shit energy. That means guess what? Everything that squirted out that little bastard. Oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
A cuss jar.
Look, a swear jar. Everything that has squirted out that person, because it's supposed to be a connection, because it's an exchange of fluid. So if it's an exchange of fluid, it's an exchange of energy.
Fluid at that.
Exactly.
Fluid.
Exactly. It's an exchange of energy. So before you lay down with LaFred and LaFred Jr. and Sim Sim from down the street, you need to make sure that it's not. What you gonna do? You gonna go around with an energy machine and be like, you ain't on that level. No, you know what I mean?
You said an energy machine. You have an energy machine right now. Hello.
Look,
not going there.
You ain't even vibrating where you're supposed to be, baby. You on -5. You're supposed to be at least on 2. So, that means your spunk stank. But you know what I'm saying and stuff. But the thing is that we need to think about who we're laying with, because that's an energy exchange. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And at a young age,
my grandmother say, if you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas.
What?
It's very elementary, but it's the same concept. Absolutely.
And you know, I've never met one person that said when they gave up their virginity that, oh my God, he was so good and I love him. No, everybody I know that had given up their virginity said that was the worst thing they have ever done. And I'm wondering is,
probably regret it after the fact, because it's not all it cracked up to be, because it wasn't done in the right way.
And then the energy that was exchanged, if any.
Right. It's all about, at that age, these teenage boys, all they want to get is the climax. They want to get the orgasm. They just want to nut. They're just horny. There is no
connection at all.
Because they don't know. They're still kids. They're barely outside of playing with frogs and riding bikes. When the average guy, the average male loses his virginity at 13. It's a little later for girls, but still 13 years old, they're nasty, stinky, smell like onions, and oh gosh, no.
Musty nuts, everything. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to call everybody's son musty nuts, but if you go in your child room, 9 times out of 10, some of them drawers that you have picked up was a little hard at the age of 13.
It smells like eating corn chips and
girl, what?
Hard plaster drawers. Yeah.
So,
well, at that time, that's when you say, you wash your own laundry now. When they get to be a certain age, no, I'm serious. Like, you wash your own clothes. You know how to do it.
Exactly. So,
because I don't want to touch.
Gross. So what I'm saying is,
aren't mine
now, because 50. Well, that's I'm not gonna lie. The CDC says 55%. Now, that was 2 years ago that they say 55% of females and males are having sex from the age between 15 and 19. You feel what I'm saying? That means you ain't even old enough to drink, but you busy. You busy bumping uglies.
Doing something that's very adult.
Exactly. Yeah. So you ain't even old enough to drink, but you doing this and stuff. But so has virginity kind of been pushed to the back, even though I remember when I was young, it was make sure whoever you give your virginity to is important to you. And now being older, I'm like, I understand what they're saying. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, is this the person? You feel what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. If this ain't the person,
remember that for the rest of your life,
Right. And that was something that was important to me and everything. And that should have been a very amazing energy exchange. As a virgin, You feel what I'm saying? We already know, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but boys, they don't come to the table virgins. They don't. If
No,
you
no,
do,
no, no, no.
if
It's
you
very
do
rare
end
that
up,
you two virgins together, right?
exactly, if you do end up with the virgin male, that would be very confusing for both of you. But
You know what? And that's interesting that you say that because it brings a question. We're always as women, oh, he's a dog, he's a hoe, he's got so many partners, he's got so many partners. But if he didn't have that experience and he came to you not knowing anything, you know what I'm saying? The experience would be horrible. It's like two people fumbling around in the dark. So you want a man who knows what he's doing and knows how to handle himself and knows how to handle you. But at the same time, there's kind of like this, oh, he's screwed everybody.
but
But
see,
you
the
got to
thing
get your
is,
experience somewhere. I hate to say that. And I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it's just kind of odd how we can be on both sides of the coin. You want somebody who's experienced, that knows their way a body, please you sexually, but you take issue with how they got there. How they gained their prowess or how they, got skilled.
right? But
Which is kind of backwards.
I guess I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, is having a virgin partner that's male that bad? No, because
I really would say no,
if
because
he's
you can teach him.
if he's openly telling
Right.
me, hey, you know what? I want to save myself for the right person, blah, 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 blah. I'm not trying to be funny. I would respect him more. I'm not going to pressure you to be ramming up in me like that because I may not be
Not at
the
all.
one. You feel what I'm saying? And my energy, and you may be vibrating at a higher frequency than me. You know what I mean? And stuff, because you are
Right.
holding on to that sexual energy. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff. So if you're vibrating a higher frequency than what I am, then I'm about to fuck you up. I'm about to bring your frequency down.
Yeah, who am I to mess that up, to mess with that?
Exactly.
But we would just be friends or whatever, or I would have to be celibate or whatever. If he's really the right guy, and you really feel some
That
emotional
he's
connection and
right. I would be
then you
willing
just
to
wait.
wait
I would wait. Yeah, I would.
and
Because
stuff.
especially
So
the older you get, it's like that is not the most important thing. We got toys and other stuff for the physical part of it. The emotional connection is more important to me than the act, the connection, the intimacy. I don't get anything out of it anymore if it's just physical gratification. Yeah, the physical gratification is good, but you can do that yourself if that's all you're looking for. But if you really are looking for a partner in a well-rounded relationship, it should be based on more than sex anyway. The connection, the friendship, all that stuff should be built first.
no, that makes sense. So another
So
question is,
I would be able to wait up until a certain amount of time. Yeah.
so when we lose our virginity, right? Do we lose a part of ourselves? Are we fracturing our soul? You know what I mean? Every time we have sex with, and I don't want to say the wrong person. No,
Yes.
the wrong person. Because when you have sex with the right person, you feel what I'm saying? It's a equal exchange of energy.
Oh yeah, you hear the choir of angels singing.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Girl, when that oxytocin hit in, and I mean oxytocin, people, not Pitocin. I know that some of y'all mamas sitting up there saying, wait a minute, did she say Pitocin? They gave that Pitocin to me when I was having, no. Oxytocin is the hormone that's released when a woman climaxes. Pitocin is the synthetic version of that they use for you to get that baby about your cooter. Now.
Speeds up those contractions.
Oh my God, girl, I used to call that stuff suicide juice. It didn't matter. Girl, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Jesus, Lord, have mercy. Yes,
Suicide juice. That's hilarious.
But
no, but I want to expand on what you were saying about the energy.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. As women, it's increasingly important for you to protect and shield your energy, for you to guard your heart and guard your energy. Not saying don't sleep with people. Just take a little bit of extra time to make sure this person is worth your while. Make sure that they are functioning at the same vibrational frequency that you are, at least, or better. Because you want somebody that you can aspire to grow with, not somebody that you got to reach down and pull up all the time, whether it's financial or material, whether it's spiritual and emotional. You want someone that is going to help you to level up. It's the same thing. It's the same thing energy wise. as women, we're receivers. We are receptacles for the seed. So if you are dealing with somebody who is suffering from the throes of addiction, who has any like spiritual attachments, any strongholds, principalities, any of these things that are stuck to them, every time you sleep with him, that stuff is rubbing off on you. It is those same attachments that he has. You are now a receptacle, like basically a trash bin. You are accepting that into your body, into your auric field, into your space. So it's knowing that you have to be a lot more careful about who you choose to lay down with. And everybody's frequency is a different place. Everybody's tolerance level for what they'll accept is at a different place. But when you get to a certain point and you're just kind of like, I'm not going to accept that, don't even be intimate with that person. Just politely decline, or just sometimes that's when you have to friend zone that person.
Right. Because
still keep them in your life, because they could be great people and they can be taught, or they can come out of their circumstance or whatever, and they're still wonderful to be around, but it doesn't mean that that's the right person for you just because you are a little aroused. Take the time to get to know the person and make sure that's the person for you.
No, I 1,000,000% agree, because the thing that I see on TikTok sometimes, they talk about this little juice or whatever, and I was thinking about that as we were it's supposed to be pineapples and cranberry juice and some other stuff to make your cooters taste good. But the thing of it is that, baby, no matter what you put up in your cooter,
in my yoni class, that's true.
Well, no matter what you put in your cooter or drink for your cooter, if your energy is fucked up, your coochie fucked up too. Dang, did I just drop F words? Well, I said it was a mature audience. I'm sorry.
But it's not even your coochie. It's your root chakra. It's your sacral chakra. It's your whole horror line. It's all of the chakras in your body. Things get thrown out of whack. And when they're thrown out of whack,
everything's out of whack.
Be off whack. Everything is just off.
Because once you stop drinking that juice, boo, your juice start tasting a little tangy. So it don't even matter what kind of you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much you drink that juice. Just go ahead and give yourself diabetes, because if you're not right, because we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So if we're physical, if we're
demons,
exactly, you know what I mean? So if you're spiritually not right, and I'm not telling you to go to church and dunk yourself in 50 gallons of holy water and stuff like that, like you a whole exorcist type.
It's just about being in alignment, being in touch with your spirit,
right?
And with and being in touch with the divine. God, source, the great I am, all that is, whoever and whatever that is to you, is being in alignment with that. It's not necessarily about knowing the Bible verbatim and getting on your face 5 and 10 times a day. It's your personal relationship with God.
Exactly. And see, and I think I like that about spirituality, is because when I was young, I was religious, hands down. When I was young, you know what I mean? It was don't question God, follow the Bible, blah, 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 blah. But now, instead of it being my relationship with the church and then my relationship with the church and God, it's my relationship with God. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? The great I am, the universe, you know what I mean? The all that is, and everything, the alpha and the omega and stuff like that. That's why I think if I respect my body more now than anything, because so TMI, but oh well. If I'm angry at my husband, I'm not laying down with him, because that anger, you see what I'm saying? You know how some people are like, no, angry sex is the best sex. Nah, boo-boo, it is not the best sex, because it
produces trauma in the body.
Exactly. And stuff. So I need to make sure that I'm in the right mindset, vibrating properly and everything, and things have been talked out before I lay up there and do what I do.
No,
you feel what I'm saying?
True, because it's an energetic exchange.
And stuff. And see, that's the thing. They were like, oh no, by the time I'm done, he forgive me, baby. But that energy don't.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because you just exchanged.
And why would you like? To me, I'm just like, why would you want to? I physically can't do it because if I'm feeling that disconnect, if my emotions aren't there, I shut down. It's like I just be like, you know what? Let me just go to sleep. I don't want to do it.
Not at
You
all.
know, I don't want to share that negative energy with somebody else because I already know if it's making me feel this way, why do I want to contaminate somebody else with it, with toxic behavior because I'm upset? Wait till you calm down or make up or, like you said, communicate and talk it out, and then reconvene.
And then if it's oh baby, you know what? I understand this, then a third, and then you get to whatever, and then and stuff like that. You may have a stronger connection than you would have done if you had angry sex. You feel what I'm saying? Angry sex is. I remember hearing about angry sex, and I'm like, oh, really? Angry sex like that? Oh my God, what? They pull your hair? What? Baby, you can pull my hair without being pissed off. Okay, I ain't got no hair no more, but I'm just saying, back in the days when I did have hair and stuff, you can pull.
No, you're right.
You can pull. You can do a little of this and stuff, but.
Which brings me, finish your thought. It brings me somewhere else.
So what I'm saying is that we have to, everything we do when it comes to intercourse, that's a nice word for it. That sounds so ugly. That sounds like a.
No, it sounds transactional. It sounds like a business arrangement. Intercourse.
Did you use your machine for your intercourse? Did you get a receipt for your intercourse? You know what I mean? Did you write it? Did you write your intercourse off on taxes? Just asking. But
can you imagine?
Exactly. Oh my God. But girl, okay. I almost went somewhere. I'm just gonna bring myself back this way.
Yes, bring yourself back from the bunny ranch. Okay, I know where you're going.
Girl, I was all the way at the bunny ranch. I was in Vegas and everything, girl. Knocking on the door.
But you brought up something, and it sparked like 2 or 3 things.
Go ahead.
The first thing is, and we kind of had talked about it on the phone the other night, was the difference between making love, having sex, and the F word.
Fucking. Yes. I'll say it for you.
What you said, out to scratch myself. What you said. And so people are like, well, what's the difference? The act is all the same. It is, but it's not. Making love is just what it is. There's an emotional connection. There's a certain energy. There's life force that flows through the both of you with this. It's like a closed circuit of energy that moves between the two people. So it's literally a union. It's a union, obviously, of body because, things are inserted, but it's mind and spirit all connected. Having sex is the same act, but
not so much of a connection.
You might like the person a little bit. Yeah, you're attracted, you're whatever, you're physically attracted, but the emotions may not quite have gotten there yet. So there's not that same level of intimacy as there is with what we would call making love. And then, of course, the F-bomb, that's more like just that carnal, animal, beastie, mad sex or angry sex. So there's so many different things.
No, it's angry sex. I do agree because
or pornography sex.
There's no connection there. There's no connection. There's no nothing. It's just a bunch of noise, a bunch of grunting, a bunch of moaning, and so does it feel good? It may feel good. It may feel good, but when you bumping uglies and you effing, God, that's a new word.
But even if you have an orgasm and you climax from the effing, it's not the same as the connection as it is when you are making love. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're not going to have a connection. You may get up sore, but that's it. That's it. Yeah. So all you got is a bruised cooter.
Yeah, and be mad the next couple of days because it hurts to sit down or you walking.
You feel what I'm saying? You got to sit on the bag of peas.
I'm too old for those games. I don't want that shit. I don't want that. I don't want it to hurt at all. I want it to all be pleasurable. Even the pain can be pleasurable, but you know what I mean. But that also, the hair pulling thing, that brings us to the foreplay. Ladies, okay. Ladies, I do want to bring this up because it's so important. We've got to educate our men and not be afraid to have the intimate conversations and to get what you want. If you're going to be laying down and giving your body to somebody, you need to be getting out of it whatever pleasure, gratification that you need. If it turns you on, Carmen said to have your hair pulled. If that turns you on, he can do that. But the foreplay is extremely important. It takes a lot of time in most cases, not all, but in many cases, it takes us a lot longer, especially the older that we get and the closer that we get to like menopause and your hormonal changes and things. It takes a lot longer. Number one, the mental connection has to be there. But it takes longer to get that engine started, get the juices flowing. It's not just, oh, I'm going to do this and boom, bang, boom. No, ma'am.
Yeah, it's like when they start a car. When you go outside during the winter and you start your car, you let your car warm up. Exactly. You just don't hop in the car and just go.
So if that's what you need and that's what you require, we're not teenagers anymore. We're not in our 20s and 30s anymore. It takes more. So educate your man or your spouse or your partner on how to pleasure you best, what you need. If you don't, I'm telling you, I teach a yoni class, and I have had women, at least 2 that I can recall, that have been in their 50s and have never reached orgasm. Never. Not self-induced, because they were shamed into thinking that masturbation or pleasuring yourself or whatever is dirty or wrong. And also not from a partner. So they've never known what it feels like to have that kind of pleasure. I mean, and that's sad. That hurts me. My feelings, like, what?
Like, what? Why you?
It hurts. So don't be afraid. I mean, if you have certain fetishes or certain things that you like, have those discussions before you start to enter into, sexual relations with these men, so that you can get what you want and be open to them telling you what they like and what they want, so that you guys are mutually pleasuring each other. Very important.
But see, the thing is, I will say this, nowadays, women are they're very boisterous about their needs in the bed. I remember listening to some older women, and that was just something they didn't do. You feel what I'm saying? It was almost like your scarecrow Jim, and you laying on the bed.
It was like Miss Sailor in The Color Purple. She just
right. She just sat there and said he climbed on top of me and do his business.
And did his business.
Mm-hmm. But that's not exact. But I will say that I think that women they're still a little bit too silent in the bedroom and stuff. But right, because you need to be able to speak to the person you're getting ready to have this exchange with. You feel what I'm saying?
And men don't hesitate to. I mean, I don't want to be graphic here, but they don't hesitate to ask for what they want, or try to. How can I say this?
Guide put your head down towards
the be real quick to grab the back of that head. You're like, So you can do the same thing.
Exactly. God, you can. Hey,
I didn't want to be that crass. But
even look, even just like we said, look, Journey Undefined. Like the name of the podcast, Journey Undefined. It's a journey. You know what I mean? And it's a path. And sometimes you got to guide that head to the path, so that it'll be able to make that journey to do what it needs to do. I'm just saying.
We should have told Aiheeya to come in on this one.
You know what?
She would be up in here clowning.
Girl. Okay, so next episode I'm gonna get Aiheeya to come in. I'm gonna tell her. Text her right now and tell her and stuff. But
you're like, girl, what you doing?
Exactly. What y'all talking about? Da, 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 and stuff. Aiheeya's our god sister. I love her and stuff. And but it's important for us to basically let our partners know what we need and what we want. You feel what I'm saying? Because even when I don't want to link that to prayer, but if we can tell God what we need and what we want, why we can't tell the man that's next to us what we need and what we want? My soul is getting ready to empty out on you, and yours is about to empty out on me. So the least thing I can do, the smallest thing I can do, is tell you what I need. You feel what I'm saying? Because if somebody puts steak in front of me and I'm a vegan, I'm not going to eat that steak. That I'm not going to do. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to let you know, no, that is not for me. Thank you. You can take that back to the kitchen And if you don't take it back to the kitchen, then that's your business. If you want to get up and leave, that's your business. But I need to make sure that that energy exchange is going to be exactly, you know what I mean? Exactly what I want as a woman. You feel what I'm saying? Because I will say this, when I talk to my kids now, my kids, they speak about sex very freely. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Not you.
I
I
want
make
them
sure.
to exactly because
I
if
check in with them. I ask.
because I need them to
I have two
know
boys, and
that
she's
I
got
didn't
2 boys and a girl.
right. Yeah. I didn't want them to ask, well, mom, why did you want us to keep our virginity? Now more than anything, I tell them the reason why I wanted you to keep your virginity is because it's important. That's something that is pure to you and it's yours. You know what I mean? It's yours. It's a part of your body. It's a part of everything and stuff. And for all we know, once that hymen is broken, how do you know that you didn't fracture a part of your soul because you given that energy to somebody that you have no business giving it to? When boys come for the first time, you feel what I'm saying? I'm talking about during intercourse, not wet dreams, because they have wet dreams before they even have intercourse
That's true.
and stuff. So when they come for the first,
Missions.
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And stuff, sheets be nasty and stuff. You'd be like, why your sheet got that hard spot? What you do? Oh, you nasty. You need to go put your shit in the damn washer. But okay, anyway.
Right away.
So I'm able now to talk to them and tell them why. You know what I mean? I wanted them to keep their virginity and stuff. I don't want to put my daughter's business out there. So
Then don't. Yeah. We're not going to say any names, and we're going to keep stories very general. But
And
I
stuff.
agree with you. I did the same thing. I mean, I have 2 boys, and I check in with them regularly. And I'm like, look, any updates? Are you having sex? How far have you gone? What have you done? Do you have questions? Do we need to go to the store and get condoms? Because it's not even realistic. Even though I don't encourage sexual intercourse at this age, because I feel like it's a lot emotionally for them to handle, because especially for women, the emotions that come along with receiving somebody into your body. Men are a little different. They're more visual and kind of disconnected emotionally. There's more emotional fallout, I think, for women. But still, these boys are inflicting trauma and whatever else on these little girls, and people are broken. So, but I always check in and I ask, because I would much rather you ask me and get fact-based information versus talking to your homeboys and getting some crazy, the baby grew up in the Cabbage Patch, baby came from the Cabbage Patch, or the stork or the belly button or something foolish. You need to know how this happened, how your actions and how, because you're hot in the ass and you want to get with this little girl, how that could turn into a baby potentially, or something that you don't want. And then the child support is going to fall on you and on me because you're a minor. And there's a whole host of problems that come along with that. It's not just that act. There's a lot of spurious other things and emotional fallout that can happen from doing it too early. But at the same time, I tell them that, but I'm also realistic. And I know that you can't always control people, and kids find a way to do what they're going to do. You can trap them as much as you want. They're going to, whether they do it under the bleachers, whether they do it when you're at work and they're, not home from school, they're not supposed to have anybody in the house, but they sneak and do it. They're going to find a way to get together.
Do whatever they want to do.
Exactly. So if they're going to do it, I want you to be informed. You know what you're getting yourself into. You're protected so that your health is not impacted, and you're making wise choices. So, yeah. I don't know. We went all around the barn for that one, but yeah.
That's okay. We ended up right back in front of the door. So we knock and we good. Good. But no, I 1,000,000% agree. Having my child informed is way more important than anything. Than anything
just so
else.
they can make educated choices.
But see,
I'm not trying to talk to them about the statistics. You know what I'm saying? Let them see. I mean, I know they show it like in sex ed or whatever at school, but let them know.
But see, they're taking sex ed out of schools now. You feel what I'm saying? Me being in the healthcare field and everything, I ain't trying to be funny. A man came in with blue waffle, and even though everybody's like, no, blue waffle is a myth. Nah, boo-boo. Mm-hmm. Blue waffle ain't no myth. I've seen it. I've smelt it. Ooh,
Not blue balls, y'all. This is never explained.
blue
Not blue
waffle.
balls. Blue waffle, yeah.
Blue, I mean, it could be on your. It was on this man's face.
What are you doing? Finding pictures?
No, I'm just disgusted because I'm remembering it.
Oh.
I walked into the room and was like, the hell is that smell? And stuff. I looked at the doctor. I looked at the nurse. They said, let's talk to you. And I said, please tell me that's not what I think it is. They said, what you think it is? I said, blue waffle. I said, girl, I thought that was a myth. It's just that you don't see it a lot. So they're like, oh yeah, it's a myth. No, boo boo. Blue waffle is true. It's 1,000,000% true. You can transmit an infection from body part to body part because again, it's an exchange of fluid, which is an exchange of energy. You know what I mean? Which also carries diseases and infection and stuff. And if you just happen to have this little cut that you may not know about because you were manscaping or
a paper cut,
you feel what I'm saying?
on your mouth from licking an envelope, or
right, that enters that cut, and when it does, the reason why it calls blue waffle is because the swelling of the pustulous bumps are so big that they're blue.
It's like bruising, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's blue and stuff. It's almost like you have cysts everywhere. You know what I mean? It's oh my God, it was horrible. Okay, I got off the subject. Like way off, way off the subject, but yeah. But yeah, you got to be careful of who you do that energy exchange. Oh God, all I can do is think about this stuff now. Wait a minute.
Can you delete, cancel? Let's sweep that out of your mind.
Shoot, because just thinking, oh Jesus, just thinking of being in healthcare was a lot. It was a lot. Anyway, but that's how I educated Marquise them. Oh, I just said my baby name. Oh well, it don't matter. But that's how I educated them is by giving them the examples of things that came into the ED. You feel what I'm saying? Things that are real life. You feel what I'm saying? Because this isn't cat in the hat, sweetie. This isn't cat in the hat. One fish, blue fish, red fish, whatever. This ain't that. You lay down with the wrong person, you may get up with something that you don't want, other than just an exchange of energy and everything like that. Because, it just came to me. So
it's also the importance of telling your kids to, if they decide they want to engage in sex, have both of those babies tested. Let them go down to the health department or
that's what we did with this first.
OBGYNs and whatever, and make sure they both have a negative test.
Yeah, that's what he did with his first. I will say that. He was like, Mom, I already know. I did. I told her, Mama, this. So if you want to do it, they went and they got tested. So I do. Okay, so my next question is, are men more sexualized than women and vice versa?
I got to give you a 50-50 on that.
You think so?
Because I think that women want sex just as much as men.
Not sexualized.
We might. Well, I don't know. Because I think that, I don't know, our conditioning is just so different.
Yeah, it is.
Especially if you are over a certain age. You're conditioned that it's a negative thing, it's bad, you're not supposed to like it. You have to stay chaste and whatever. These younger girls now are like,
they do the chasing.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna flaunt. I'm gonna, push the girls up, and stick the girls in the back out, whatever. They are, in a way, it's like they're glorifying and loving themselves in a way that allows them to be the pursuer. But at the same time, society says that men are supposed to pursue and you're supposed to kind of sit there and be chaste or wait.
I kind
I'm
of
kind of
like
old
the way.
school. I'm old school.
Really?
I don't initiate.
Me, if I want it.
If I'm already with you, that's different. Out, but I'm saying like initiate. If I'm out someplace, I'm not just gonna walk up to a guy and be like, whatever. If you're interested in me, you'll ask for my phone number, or you'll step up to me and introduce yourself. Because I don't know whether you married or whatever, or whether some girl's gonna come out the bag on me from the next aisle in the grocery store. I don't know.
Like, what you
You
doing?
know exactly. So I just wait. I feel like if he's interested, he'll come to me. I do not initiate. I don't.
Okay. That's so funny because we're close in age and I am totally different. If I want it, I'm going for it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it comes to the bedroom, if I want it, I'm gonna ask for it and everything. And I think that mine came because, sometimes you sleep with a lot of frogs. Or it's not that you sleep with a lot of frogs. Let me stop that because I don't even know if an ex or something like that is looking in there like, oh bitch, you ain't sleep with no frog.
They don't know who you're talking about.
I ain't no frog. Okay, that's not what I'm not talking about.
You had frogs until you found your prince because you didn't marry, and I didn't say marry. You didn't marry. The other ones. So clearly,
but I'm not saying y'all are frogs. If you're listening, I'm not saying.
It's just a colloquialism. It's a saying. It's not personal.
Exactly, not personal or anything like that. They probably like, bitch, I ain't married your ass either. Well, okay. So we just even, aren't we? But
Shucks. Sometimes.
Okay, so what? Okay, so sexualized. I think that women are way more sexualized than men. I really do, and the reason is because we're looked at a certain way. And I know that I was listening to something and they were like, well, you know what? Women, y'all put on makeup because you want to look sexy. No, I want to look cute, boo.
No, sometimes you want to look good for you.
Exactly. I don't do it for you. I don't do it for you. I do it for me.
If you put on makeup, it adds more life and color to your face so you don't look so washed out. It's not about trying to entice a man.
And that's what they were saying. They were like, oh,
good for yourself.
Oh, when you wear leggings, you want no.
It's comfortable.
No, why does everything I wear or do has to be enticing to a man? Why can't I just do it because that's what I like?
They're visual creatures. They just think that automatically is being done because they are turned on by it. That's not our fault and that's not our mission.
But see, I do stuff like that because it makes me feel good. And I'm not trying to be funny. Back to spirituality, it makes me vibrate at a higher frequency. You know what I mean? I feel better. When
you look better, you feel better.
Right. And stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm more amped to manifest what I want when I look like what I want to look like. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because you know me, I love high heels. You know me, I love high heels. And so sometimes I'll go and I put on my high heel.
Opposite child. I love a sexy sandal or a flip flop. I gotta have my toes out. I gotta be grounded.
Look, I like my toes out, but I want a heel with them toes out. Hands down. All my sandals are wedged. They're wedged sandals, and none of them are flat. But it makes me feel good. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I mean? It helps me vibrate at a higher frequency. And when I feel good about myself and everything, I'm more amped to have sex.
All of that ended with that?
Yeah.
I mean, what about what happened about having more confidence? Looking good and feeling good. Why did that?
Well, I already look. I'm just saying. I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna feel good, and since I'm feeling good and looking good, and feeling something good, and this, that, and third, and other stuff feeling good. Because if I'm feeling good, that means Chi Chi is feeling good, and if she feeling good and I'm feeling good, we feeling good.
Good mood. Chi Chi. I'm glad you said that name.
Girl, I had to give her a quick name and stuff. I ain't want to call her Rhonda. That just didn't sound right with me. That's not a good name for you.
Or Frida. Since you call everybody else LaFred, call her Frida, LaFrida.
And stuff. Yeah. I didn't. That's just, you know what I mean? I just believe that we are sexualized more than men because even though we have a attached the gray sweatpants to a lot of men. Thank you for the gray sweatpants. I appreciate that. I just want to put that out there. Thank you so much. Gray sweatpants, people. Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch that one.
But that's it. That's all they got. It's the gray sweatpants. That's it.
Yeah, no, but you need, the good sense that God gave a Billy Goat. Can you articulate some words and have a clear thought in your head? That them gray sweatpants are not all it is hitting on at all.
It's not. I mean, some of y'all look good in gray sweatpants. Some of y'all just need to just put on a pair of jeans because didn't nobody tell you to put on gray sweatpants because you ain't showing nothing. I'm just letting you know like that. You just disappoint.
No, but I'm just saying, even if they were showing something, there's more to people than that. I mean, it's okay, you're well hung, but what about everything else that goes with the rest of the package?
You know what? That's
what do
true.
You have to offer? What are you bringing to the table?
Where are you at?
Can get the sweatpants anywhere.
Where are you at mentally?
Yeah.
You can be hung like you got monkey rope for days and be a horrible person. I mean, horrible. You know what I mean? When you walk and stuff, your dick musty. I mean, sorry. You know what I mean? Wow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter how your monkey rope slinging, sweetie. It doesn't matter if somebody wants to become a whole Jane and swing on that vine like they're Tarzan. If you're not right, you're not right. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get it.
It doesn't matter. And the funny thing is that no matter how you put sex into something that is extremely physical and everything like that, it ends up still going through spirituality.
There's no way around it.
No matter, you know what I mean? No matter how it gets, because just like you remember we were talking about, I remember we were having a conversation about the orgasm and stuff like that. And the orgasm is considered, what is it? The little death, the small death?
Something? It's called, yes. It is called the little death.
The little death. And that's because women, when we orgasm, that oxytocin that squeaks and it just hits us, we're walking a fine line between life and death.
Life and death. Yes, you are. Because everything, all your organ systems, everything in your body, like gives up the ghost, so to speak, literally. So it's like a little death for that split second or those couple of minutes. And then everything kind of calms down and levels out. But it really is called a little death, which brings me to another conversation, because I did want to talk about the different types of orgasms.
Yeah.
There's like 10 or 11 different types of orgasms.
So listen up, ladies, because guess what? You can get yours in many more ways than one.
Yes. All right. So, do I want to go into that yet?
We don't have to. Okay, y'all, we're going to say that for part 2. Y'all want to say that?
Wait. But I do want to pass the message on that women do not deal with or stand for a selfish lover. You need to get as well as you give. There should be reciprocity in the relationship and the giving, so that you both are getting something out of it. That's energetic exchange, not one person doing all the work and somebody laying there like a dead fish, or not or vice versa. Get involved.
Ooh, you said a dead
and then
fish.
Of course, a dead fish. Yes. Mm-hmm. But then also too, with that connectivity comes being present, for men and women too. Everybody is different. Everyone has different fetishes, different fantasies, different erogenous zones. I can tell you that, like, for example, guys are so, I'm sapiosexual. So my erogenous zone is here. One of my main ones is somebody who is intelligent and articulate. That is like an immediate turn on for me.
Oh, wait a minute. We may need to talk about that then, because I'm like, sapiosexual. Wait a minute. What the is that?
Yeah, I'm turned on by intelligence.
No, I am not. I will say that. Me too. Yeah. I don't want a dumbass.
Yeah, it's not a pretty face. Again, it's about somebody who can help to lift you up and teach you something.
But see, the thing of it is, I don't want a dumbass, but I don't want a little bitty one neither.
But you can have both. Nobody wants that. But what I'm saying is, I was saying that to say that one size does not fit all, whether you're male or female.
Makes sense.
You as women and as men, you may have had several different, partners in your life, but what turns one person on may not turn the second one on.
Right.
And men are famous for, like, it's a formula or it's like a cookie cutter type thing. And they do these things to you and you're just laying here like,
you did the same thing yesterday.
yeah. And it's not even the same thing. It's wherever they've learned from whatever they picked up along the way in their travels before they met you. And then they try it on you and they think it's supposed to work. And they're wondering why you not necessarily bouncing off the walls because that thing may not turn you on.
So it's like leftovers.
So just know, right. It's like leftovers. Take the time to learn your partner, whether you're female or male. It goes both ways. Learn your partner and find out what turns them on individually, not just this cookie cutter. Oh, I'm going to give some head, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to pull the hair, or I'm going to scratch or do it. Figure out what that individual wants, because like a lot of that stuff, for me personally, that stuff doesn't move me. There's different things that pull my trigger or push my buttons that make me want to be like, oh, And,
yeah, I'm gonna put it on you. And if you, I understand what you're saying. I 1,000,000% understand. I 1,000,000% agree. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I have actually been, I'm telling you, I'm so in tune with the person's mind, the man's mind that I'm with, that I get pissed off sometimes because he'll literally, because I'm so connected to like the mind and the words that he's saying and what he's saying, I can get turned off. If I get pissed off, if he says something stupid, we could be ready to go. And he'll say something and will talk himself right out of the pussy.
Girl, dry up like the desert.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. I'm looking down like, what?
Exactly.
Because I'm just like, my heart is broken because I'm like, what did you just say? And it's just like, yeah. If I had a penis, it would do this. Yeah. Because that's the equivalent of what happens. And I'm just like, let me just roll over and go to bed. You just talked yourself out of a wonderful, wonderful night, which I was admitted was going to make you see the stars.
You feel what I'm saying? All because your mouth.
Just
you know what? There's a saying my mom them used to say, and I never understood it until I got older. Teeth and tongue fall out. That means just shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, sometimes it's
be quiet.
You can just talk and talk and talk, and you just talk yourself right out of some mind-blowing stuff.
All because you just wanted to
you got to be right, or you got to belabor the point just that one more minute when you already told me. It's like, what does it say? Don't beat a dead horse. You already said it 8 million times. Why did that 8 million and one? You just killed it for me. I might as well go home. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop.
What you say? I see you at the I don't know. I'll just see you. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I'll see you when I see you. But I said all that to say that it's cookie cutter. Take the time to learn your body, learn yourself, learn your likes and your dislikes, and share those things with your partner. Allow your partner to explore and experiment. Don't be ashamed of your body. Let them figure it out. Teach them, help them, whatever. But so that you get, you're fulfilled as well as they are. Because it's easy for them to bang, bang, bang and get a nut. Because men are visual creatures. They cannot be able to stand you and still have that angry sex and have a nut.
And see, that's so weird, because that's good. Why
I can't do that.
Me neither. That's why when you were saying that women, we're an accepting vessel, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's true, because men could put a paper bag over your head and go with it.
Mm-hmm. As long as you got what they're looking for, a big butt and a smile.
You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I can't. I just can't. If I don't have.
If I'm not connected to you in that
some kind of connection, some way, shape, or form.
Drop of moisture, not that.
None. Baby, you could have given me the best licking, like you were licking, what's that lollipop? A Tootsie Roll. How many licks does it take to get to the center of it?
The center.
Let's find out. A 1, a 2. Guess what? Keep licking, boo. Because you're not getting to this Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Pop, whatever you want to call it. It ain't popping, because I have no connection to you, none whatsoever. And that's a real sad part about that's not sad, but I don't want to say it's sad, but it's, you know what I mean? it allows me, as being the age I am, to make better choices for a sexual partner. You feel what I'm saying? Because I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, aren't you married? Yes, I'm married. Then what's your point? But the thing of it is that I wasn't always married. You feel what I'm saying? And even before I was married, I was picky about my sexual partners and stuff like that because everybody wasn't eternal. And this is before spirituality became such a big thing. You know what I mean? This is before manifestation became a big thing. This is before everything that is beginning to open and stuff like that became this thing. You feel what I'm saying? All these labels and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third and stuff. This is way before then. And I was funny acting then too. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny, but you know, even at a young age, if it ain't right, I'll tell your ass to get up. I need you to leave. Bless your heart. I'm from Georgia.
Now, I've never been that nasty. Girl, but you know, because I'll give people the benefit of the doubt. Not so much.
I'm
now,
not benefiting and I'm not doubting you. I need you to get up. I'm sorry. You ain't. It ain't. They ain't. It ain't gonna happen. I need you to get up. I'm gonna pat you on your head and say, that's all right. You know,
Okay, so this brings me to another question. Because you've been 24 years, long-term relationship.
Extremely long.
You know? Me, not so much. But I gotta sneeze. Oh my gosh.
Bless you beforehand.
So what do you do? And I guess it's different for you because you have the commitment, you have marriage, you got the paper, you got everything else behind this. But like
marriage is not always a commitment.
Well, that's true. But giving people chances and all this, because as we age and as we get older,
right,
things start to not work so well. And sometimes it's hit or miss. And you may be having mind-blowing sex one day, and then the next time, not so much. There might be a little problem or a little, slow movement or whatever. So
you may not be saluting so quick no more.
Right. So, and that's very real. I mean, as we get older, that is going to happen because the same thing that happens with us happens with men.
But get some CMOS.
Start to go through menopause. How would you say?
But get some CMOS.
Yeah, something. Yes. But, the stuff starts drying up and not lubricating the same. It takes even more than it already takes to get you geared up. But for the men, it's the same thing. They might not always be staying in attention, or when they're ready to salute, their arm won't lift up. So.
What was your question?
I forgot.
But I'm gonna let you know right now. I am great.
Oh no, we were talking about giving people chances and second chances and whatever. But if you're already in an established relationship and that happens, that's kind of a natural progression of things. You understand that, I guess. But how do you cope with that? Especially if there's an age difference.
You mean how you cope with if the soldier is not,
the sex drive
is not marching to war?
Sometimes your sex drive is different than that other person's due to sometimes it's health issues, sometimes it's age, sometimes it's just not in the mood or whatever, or it's just,
No, okay, so each one of my kids were big kids, huge kids. They're not, when I was pregnant with them, I did not have small kids. Let's put it that way. My smallest was 8 pounds and my biggest was 13. So because I'm short and everything, petite and everything, it was all my pregnancies were basically considered high risk because of my history. So I couldn't have sex. You feel what I'm saying? So Jerome waited. He waited. He waited. Did he do other things? He probably did.
Oh, let's hope not. But I'm saying that's different.
No, I'm saying when I say other things, I'm talking about, Thumbelina and her 4 sisters. He probably did. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I can't say, but the thing is that when because I have a very high sex drive
of time. Your pregnancy is going to come to an end. You go to your 6-week
checkup. But the thing of it is that some men out there, they don't want to wait. They get selfish. You feel what I'm saying? They don't understand this is a whole human being I'm carrying. I'm not going to Wendy's and getting a double cheeseburger in about 10 minutes is going to be good and gone. No, I'm baking a baby and stuff. And so, but yeah, but like, okay, so I think my sex drive is higher than my husband's. I mean, I'm not trying to put it out there, but I think it is. And if he's not in the mood, I'm not going to force him. I know how to get myself off.
Oh no, I would never do that. Yeah, never.
You feel what I'm saying? Even being in a relationship for
Just
that
handle it
long,
yourself, or take, or try to
Exactly.
go to sleep.
Even being in a relationship that long and stuff like that, I know my body. I know what I can do. I know how to do it. You feel what I'm saying?
I personally don't like it though. Oh my gosh.
What, masturbation?
Not saying that I haven't done it and won't do it, but to me, I think part of the thrill.
I think masturbation is healthy.
It is, because you need to do
you
that.
Really learn. You learn what you like,
learn your
what
body.
you don't like. You learn your points.
Exactly. I mean, I can do it and relieve myself in 3-4 minutes, if that, because I know exactly where to go. But sometimes it's fun, or it's more fun to allow that other person to explore and figure it out with you, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And there's something else about that other person's energy and that other person's touch that makes it that much better. When I do it, I get bored. I'm like, whatever. I'm not. It doesn't do much for me. I'm just like, I'd rather not. Yeah, I'd really rather not. I'd rather somebody else do it.
No, I mean, I agree. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm mad at you, you feel what I'm saying? Or if I'm on strike, picket signs and all, then I'm gonna have to get down for the get down for myself. I'm just saying. You feel what I'm saying? But but yes. Because I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, okay, so being married for that long and stuff, that don't happen. That's bullshit. That's a lie. It's a lie. That's a lie. I've been on strike for a minute sometimes. You would have thought I was a whole, you know what I mean? You would have thought I was, what did they call it? The union. You thought I was in the union. How long I was on strike before. You'd have been like, are you a union worker? I'm asking for private parts everywhere. Are you a union worker? Because you're standing out here with a whole picket sign that says no pot.
I was trying to get Aiheeya. She said that she was going to call me right back.
She was on the phone. Does she have a computer? We can send her a link. You can send her the link.
She's got 2 or 3 computers.
Good. She works from home. Forward the link.
I'm send it to her. All right.
And stuff, but yeah, so, I mean, being that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But yeah, being in a long-term relationship, it doesn't. I guess I've never thought about, you know what I mean, my sex drive, because
I mean, there's changes. There's physiological changes. There's mental changes. There's emotional changes. And you've been having the same whatever for 24 years, so you got to do more. I'm saying in your case, or anybody that's been married.
No, you're right. You have to do more to keep stuff spiced up in the bedroom and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. Some people, I've seen some people invite people into the bedroom and stuff. They invite me.
Oh yeah,
I've seen that. But the thing is that what you can do is go to swingers parties.
What is it? Cuckolding.
Go to swingers parties. Go to swingers parties. See what you see. You know what I mean? Watch.
Yeah, and they have some decent like sex clubs, like the Dungeon. Well, I can't say names, but they have some decent sex clubs in DC.
That's what I'm saying. Go venture forth. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a whole, I have a chastity belt type woman. You feel what I'm saying? Because
that's true.
Even though it's sex and spirituality, and we now know that beyond a shadow of a doubt that sex is connected to spirituality in more ways than one. But the thing is that your spirit grows. You feel what I'm saying? So as
It
it
does, and it
grows,
changes and evolves.
right. And so and it evolves, and then you start vibrating at a higher frequency and things of that sort. So therefore you're gonna need more. You're gonna want more. You're gonna want different things and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like some people think that pornography is a lower vibrational type action. But then they go back to the what is it? The history of pornography, because pornography comes from the word porny, which means sold. But now that's a long time ago. Long time ago, the women were sold into sex. You feel what I'm saying? Now pornography is a $1 trillion industry. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff like that. They have agreed to put the pie in the oven. They have agreed to do this.
And they have so many different like fetish
genres, right,
channels.
right.
Yeah, genres, exactly.
And stuff. So you know what I mean? You go into that type of business and stuff like that. You're not being sold into that business. You've chosen. You wrote the contract and everything. You know what I mean? Some people are like, I know I had a conversation with another person and they were like, well, no, pornography, it is a bad thing. Is it? Is it actually a low vibrational action? You know what I mean? Is it?
It is because it is the act of the effing. I don't feel like there's any love there. Obviously, there's no procreation because they're doing it for a living. But that element of, I don't know. It's
that connection
it's about
element.
carnal pleasures only. Right.
But that's the thing.
It becomes a base level thing, not a love thing. It takes that higher vibration aspect of it out of there. Don't get me wrong. It serves a purpose and it helps get your aroused to get where you have to get. But it also has a very dark side, depending on where you're going with, these perversions and with these fetishes and whatever. Well, I'm gonna leave that alone.
So you remember how
it just depends on how dark you take it. And I don't really, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think that there's really much that is like off limits.
I think that
but there are
pornography has it's not that I don't think that dark side is pornography. I think that's taking it somewhere else. You feel what I'm saying?
Too far.
Yeah, that's taking it else. You know what I mean? That's taking it somewhere that I'm not opening that cookie jar. Them cookies got diabetical.
Who's to say what that is? I mean, everybody has a different limit as to what their borders are,
Right.
As to what is the dark side.
Right. But see, just like I was saying about fracturing your soul when you have sex with the wrong person. So because they have agreed to have sex, you know what I mean? I wonder I'm playing here. So I wonder if that person who has agreed to go ahead and have and take part in pornography, if they're strong enough to vibrate at a certain frequency that their soul or their spirit is not fractured. You know what I mean? I was thinking about, I think I was talking about.
I don't think the two can exist.
You don't think so?
I don't feel like, and this is just my humble opinion, this is not based on fact, this is just based on what I know in my experience and just what I've seen in my,
right,
almost half a century. Pornography is sex.
Right.
We all do it, and that's cool. Mm-hmm. But it becomes the lower vibrational kicks in when, like I said, the emotional piece is taken out of it. When you become like addicted to it, when it becomes, your sole focus.
No, I can understand that an addiction is a lower vibration.
From morning to night, sitting in front of the laptop doing this, when you should be out experiencing the world. Go out there and get you a woman so you can get something for real.
No, now that part, I do 1,000,000% agree with you on that, because when it becomes an addiction, and addiction is considered a low vibrational action, a low vibrational thing, then yes, you know what I mean? Pornography is a low vibrational.
Go out there and meet people, mingle, maybe some people are socially awkward is what I was trying to say. And they have anxiety or fear around meeting a woman or something, or meeting a man. And so they do that as a means to, I don't know, because I haven't been in that position, but I think it's very base level emotion. And we all go there from time to time. You flick it on, look, do what you got to do, turn it off. And I might not look at it
but it's
again
not
for
an
6, 7
addiction.
months or a year. Right. It's just something to pass the time. Or it's something to help you to get aroused. If you're not aroused, but you need to unclog yourself, or whatever, relieve yourself.
He said unclog. Unclog, everybody. We need a little tidy bowl. What is it? A plunger.
Release the blockage. Yes, thank you. If you don't have a mate or a partner, it's just a quick way to get you there, and boom, 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 and that's it. But I feel like when you watch that stuff continuously, to take it back to church and take it back to, the old school, you always have to be guarding and watching your eye gate and your ear gate. That's watching what you see and what you hear, because all of those things, those two things are feeding this and feeding this, your ori and your third eye. And constantly watching those darker images or doing those low level vibration things, it is impacting your psyche. And it can manifest in different ways. It really can. So while it's not against the law, it's legal. I get it. I watch it from time to time myself, but it's not something that, I guess it doesn't really do it for me. In a quick pinch sometimes, yeah, but like I said,
it's not where it's at. I understand.
Yeah, it's not hands-on for me, but I just feel like participating in lower level vibration, we struggle enough on a day-to-day basis
with low vibrational action.
High, right. Just with regular life. I'm not going to sit there and try to add insult to injury by doing something that I know is going to take me further in the other direction. And I know that sounds bad because I don't want to sound like a prude, because I'm not. But there's just this energy. There's a feeling when I watch it that's just very different than I feel like what that act was intended for. That's for entertainment purposes. There's no real love there.
And maybe the energy
into your damn bedroom. That's not my business. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it.
I guess that may be the energy that people, when they are when during pornography, there may be a flow of energy that even flies out. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. It's more carnal. It's not based in love. And I think that's what it is. There's no love there. Maybe the love of money, because it's lucrative. They make a lot of money. But I'm saying between the parties of the people that you're watching, there is no love there. It's just, to me, that's like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, they say that everything is energy. Money is energy. Sexual exchange is energy. But they say that sex is more of an energy exchange. It's more seductive. Somebody else's body. It's more seductive than money.
It is. I would say they're right there together. Especially because, think about it, in many cases, they depend on each other. Look, the sex industry in general, prostitution, pornography, that is one of the highest grossing industries in the world is for the pornography industry. Billions of dollars a year. That they make more than, the regular
They make more than billions.
Yeah.
They make way more than billions.
Yeah. It is the most lucrative thing, but it doesn't really do it for me. Like I said, every once in a while, but I just feel like it's a low level energy, and I don't need no help with that. I don't need nothing bringing me down. I'm trying to stay up here as much as I can.
Right. Because I'm not trying to be funny, but when you're at a higher vibration, just, you know what I mean? That's why I was asking about sex and spirituality, because when you're at a higher vibration and you are into manifesting certain things, then you feel what I'm saying? It's easier to manifest than when you're staying at a lower vibration and doing lower vibrational stuff.
Activities. But see, but it's a total difference, because I'm going to say this. Sex itself, the energy that you harness from being with that other person, if it's right and good, and that orgasmic energy that pulls up here, you can actually use that energy and transmit it and transfer it into other things. You can actually manifest with that sexual energy. It is life-giving energy. It's like it's your prana, it's your chi. But that negative porn shit, there's nothing to be gained from that. There's nothing that you know what I'm saying, about the sexual energy that's born from love, because that's vibration. And when it's void of that, it's just like nothing. It's like zombies walking around to me, you know? I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. I can't articulate it.
No, I understand what you're saying, because
even though sex does produce the energy that produces things, there's dark sex, and then there's sex that's meant to be, you know, not necessarily for procreation, but it's between people that love each other and care for each other. There's a different vibration that's there. That's the one that you feed from. And I mean, how do you explain? It's like there's like a high that you get when you've had good sex. Don't you feel like that morning? I mean, you might go to sleep that night, but then morning you wake up and you feel like you can tackle the world. Like,
yeah, you got a big smile, you got a glow, this and the third
behind me.
And so I think the thing that
and you just approach the world differently.
I think okay, so for first episode, I'm going to say it. When I was younger, I realized that there was some kind of connection with sex when I was playing around, college, and I had an exchange with this young man, and I felt sick. I felt sick. I'm talking about I wanted to puke. You feel what I'm saying? I wanted to puke and stuff. And the more I got to know him, the more he became a piece of shit. And so, I mean, the things that he did, he would do stuff just to be spiteful. Not to me, because I've been busted him side of the head with a 2x4, but to other people. And I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? That was before I knew about the energy exchange. But when I became more aware, that explained it to me. You know what I mean? When you look at your past and you be like, okay, what about this? What about that? What about this? And stuff. And so that's why this episode was so interesting to me, is because when I look back to my past and everything, every sexual experience wasn't as amazing as I thought. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff.
In hindsight, yes.
Right.
At the time, you think it is the best.
Yeah, at the time, I'm like, oh my God, yes. But when I got sick that time, I was like, did I eat a bad burger?
It's like, this ain't worth it.
Did I get salmonella from Sprite? You feel what I'm saying? And stuff. And, but then it was, oh my God, when I got older and I began to ask the questions, it was, oh my God, I exchanged some bad energy. I didn't know his spunk stunk. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Well, I'm getting a side eye. But it's
look, I'm giving you the same. Oh, I can't even say that. I'm giving you, I don't want to say name. I'm giving you the same look that your baby gave the other day. When you was fussing at him in the kitchen, he was like,
Yeah. But it's the truth. You know what I mean? The thing of it is that because, they have all these little hacks and stuff like that. So your spunk won't stink. And so your squirt won't do what it do. You feel what I'm saying? That you really don't know that person. You feel what I'm saying? How are you when you're not drinking that juice?
Yeah, because when you're right, when the chemistry is right,
guess what?
Your pH doesn't get affected. Yeah, have you ever laid down with somebody and then afterwards, 2 or 3 days later, now you had a yeast infection?
Exactly, your cooter itching.
Right, the pH, they threw your pH off
completely.
And you go to the doctor, you get tested, no, you're good, just a little yeast infection.
And you be like, how I get a yeast infection? How you think, baby? Yeah. You got the wrong wang.
That vibration was off. Something was wrong with his he needs to drink more water or something, whatever it is. But it was too acidic or too whatever, and it threw you off.
And see, sometimes acidic spunk means you have chakra blockages.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Energy blockages and stuff like that. And you need to look at that. So, oh my God. So basically, everything is connected spiritually.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is connected spiritually, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you sneeze it, toss it, throw it, whatever.
And we're all connected. So
right.
You can argue with this, I don't care whether you white, black, green, purple, whatever. Yeah, you arguing, but that's your brother. That's your sister. That's your, you know what I'm saying? That is still somebody, I don't care what race you come from, whatever, we are all connected because we all started out at the same place first. And through migration and evolution and nomads hopping around, we evolved into other, other races or the tribes or the whatever, but that's still your brother.
Okay, that's nasty. I'm just like, I'm like, no.
I mean, brother in mankind.
I know what you mean.
Not direct DNA, but you know what I'm
like,
saying. And so we need to treat people better. We need to think before we do things. We just need to
before we hop on the next pole. You think what you're hopping on. You feel what I'm saying? You need to really think. You need to. Is this the pole for me? Do I want to dance with that? No. That pole stank a little bit. Let me think about that.
They didn't have to think. Sometimes it's the person's attitude. It's just like.
But see, remember how they always say, when you meet somebody, you meet their representative. So their representative is doing its job. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
For the first 2 years, it's a representative.
And stuff. But the thing is that if you have sex with them, that representative come down. Because however you feel after that act is going to tell you everything you need to know if you pay attention.
Yeah, if you're in tune with your spirit.
That's true too. If you're not, then
you might just be thinking with your genitals, okay, I got a good orgasm, I'm happy.
If you get
but you're not paying attention to the bigger picture. Right, if you get it.
Yeah, if you.
But I will say this, that the older I get, it's not about, orgasms are wonderful, don't get me wrong. But it's about the intimacy. It's about the connection. It's about the togetherness. It's about, the touching and the holding and the pillow talk after and before and just that glow and how you feel. It's not all about, being a jackrabbit,
Some people are
or what do you call it?
Jackalopes.
Or a sledgehammer. It's not about that in the bed. Don't do that to me. You know another one of my pet peeves, and I told you this, but I'm gonna share it with the world. I do not like it. I feel like it is so disrespectful. And don't ask me why. I know it's an idiosyncrasy and it's probably weird, but when they do it in porn movies, and people have taken that because they didn't used to do this back in the day, but men will stand above you and spit and let the spit drip down onto your private areas or whatever they're trying to lubricate. I think that shit is cute. That's nasty. We don't like that. At least I don't like it. I'm just, hey, I'm just putting it out there, Carmen. That's gross. It's disrespectful. You might as well just spit on me. You might as well just go and spit on me.
Like, oh my God.
It's disrespectful. If you want to put some moisture down there, some saliva down there, do it the right way, but don't spit on me.
Look at me. You see my face. Look.
It's disrespectful. It's horrible. I'm just like, why would you do that?
And that right there would stop everything.
Why not take the time? If you feel like things are drying up down there or you need more lubrication, take the time to lubricate me. Don't spit on me. Why don't you pull your energy back and go back to some foreplay, mix it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be straight boom, boom, boom. You can do boom, boom, boom for a little while, and then you can back up and we can do something else. And then you come back to it. But why don't you take the time to get that going again instead of spitting on me? That's degrading. It's totally unacceptable.
I really don't know what to say for that. You got me. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's something that they got from these porn movies.
And that's how you understand. That's how you know that.
Because I see it a lot. And I'm just like, first time I had that, I was like, I've never had anybody do that in real life. And now it's like a thing. So they're getting it from somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you know that they're stuck on porn.
Exactly. And by no means do I,
why would
give it up like that. I don't have a huge, repertoire. Well, at least not now. I'm old now, but older now. So I'm very selective about who I choose to be with. Exactly. It's one and done. I'm not trying to have multiple partners, whatever. I don't mind being celibate. I don't mind going without. It is what it is, because it's quality over quantity, you know? It's about the person and it's about the connection. It's not like I just need to be out here getting 8 million nuts, because like I said, I can do it myself if push came to shove.
Exactly. And going about my business, don't have to worry about exchanging that energy with anybody.
Yeah, or all the crazy, just the drama that comes with it. Sometimes it's not even worth it. It's just like, you know what? Let me just get this real quick.
Would you say, let me just get this real quick?
Meaning myself, do it myself.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
you know, I'm not trying to, you know, get up at, you know, I don't want to go over your house. I just want to lay in bed, do what I gotta do, and go to sleep.
Exactly. I don't want to have to.
I'm ready for the next day.
I don't want to have to get up and be like, "All right, see you later." And yeah, that's
exactly.
That's understandable.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
So we've basically nailed down that sex and spirituality go hand in hand, and they go hand in hand because they are a very strong and intimate energy exchange, and that
it's life-giving and life-creating,
right? And what we have to do is we have to be careful of who we lay with. We have to be mindful of the energy that we're exchanging, because just like you said, you are laying with this person and exchanging this energy, but you're also exchanging their attachments. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Everybody they ever slept with, and all their drama and all those spirits that are attached to them. Now you got a line out the window, wrapped around the building.
Now you look like a ho-ho. But the weird thing is,
right, and you only physically lay down with one person, but you lay down with everybody.
And you know what the weird thing is, by you saying that, I remember when AIDS became this huge thing. Now it's not such a huge thing because we have treatments and stuff like that, but it was this huge thing. I remember when I was young, and the thing
it
that
was killing people, it was like the pandemic.
Exactly. What the thing that they had told us in sex education is, what you have to understand is who you lay down with. You're laying down with everybody that person laid down with, and you were laying down with everybody that person laid down.
Yep.
And you
on down the line.
And as a child, I'm like, that's a lot of people. I don't know what they done did. I don't know how many people they done did. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. Really? That many people from one dick?
Think about it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You slept with like 1 million people. Because
one
partner that person had before you.
It's stuff. So
and all of their stuff. And God forbid if they had multiple partners, I mean, at the same time.
And see,
all of that stuff was there.
Right. And so so we've nailed that down, and we do agree that sex and spirituality goes hand in hand, and that as a spiritual being having a physical experience, we have to be careful.
Human experience.
Right. We have to be careful of who we decide to exchange that energy with. Now, I'm not telling everybody to go out there and be celibate. I'm not telling everybody, hey, you know what? Don't jump on that pole.
Take precaution. Just be careful.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Discernment. Yeah. Sometimes you have to take your monkey mind out of it and use your gift of discernment. How do I feel about this person? How does their energy feel to me? When I get around them, does my spirit, is it at unrest, or do I feel at peace?
Right. And if that spirit, and if your spirit,
like you said, you feel nauseous or whatever, or do I feel at peace? Do I feel good?
And see, women, we have intuition out the yin yang. You know when it ain't right. Yeah, you know when it's not right. Use your intuition to make better decisions about who you lay with. I'm not being judgmental or anything like that, because baby, you're gonna do what you do. But this is a path.
I can't judge nobody.
Exactly. Look, not one. Look, but this is a path that we walk. This is something that we do because this is life. This is exactly why it's called Journey Undefined, because you can't nobody define your journey except for you.
It's individual to everybody, to each person.
Exactly. So next time we're gonna talk about sex. We're gonna talk about sex, spirituality, and different
Well, I definitely want to talk about fetishes. I want to talk about the different types of orgasms, because I'm telling you, women don't know their bodies, and they don't know that there are more than one or more than 2 or 3. There's like 11.
Right. And I'm not trying to be funny. I didn't know there were 11. Look, I'm gonna tell on myself. I didn't know they were 11, so I cannot wait until we get into that. But we're gonna talk about how,
I'm gonna talk about tantra.
right, how other countries see
they honor sexuality.
Yeah, how they honor
absolutely
sexuality, and why do we as Americans frown on it? You know what I mean?
We're
Oh
so
my God.
prudish.
Right.
In India, I told you, they do the yoni puja, which is like a celebration in a church, in a temple, in like the Buddhist temple,
Right.
where
And
they
so
honor the yoni, the woman's yoni, which is her vagina.
we
That's
see the
seed of
vagina gives
creation.
life. Oh, okay,
Yeah, it
we're
gives
talking
life.
about our second episode. So
Oh, sorry.
so
You know, I get
yeah,
excited.
I know. So we're going to so we're going to
venerate it.
So next week, same time, same station, we're going to talk about we're going to put out exactly that. This is like a 2-part series about sex, because sex is, everybody loves it, everybody wants it, but the thing of it is that there comes responsibility with it. So there's a quote that I read, and it says, when we touch the place in our lives where sexuality and spirituality come together, we touch our wholeness and the fullness of our power.
Ashe.
Okay, so this is Carmen and E-Dub.
Is Erika. No, and let me throw a little whatever in there. We've had a lot of fun, and we've laughed and joked and been unprofessional as hell.
Big time.
This is not how I am in my regular life when I'm working, but it's all in good fun. But we still are trying to impart positivity, good messages, make you think, make you aware of some things that maybe you didn't know, and just to have fun along the way. So it's serious, but not serious. But just know that we love you guys, and we're just trying to share the wealth.
And if you want to send any comments or anything, because it's our first one, so don't get me wrong, it's gonna get better after this. You can send everything to info@cmcproduction.net. You can send comments, you can send
like we did today,
right, suggestions and stuff like that. Now I'm telling you right now, my mouth is what it is, and don't be like, Carmen, you need to curtail your because I ain't doing it. So I'm just letting y'all know. But we're gonna have more guests, and we do have more hosts and stuff like that. So we're gonna see if our nice little Aiheeya will come on with us next week, and everything. That would be,
if she does, y'all are in for a treat.
That would be fun. Y'all think I'm something else, but I ain't got nothing on her. I have nothing on her. But as we were saying, thank you for tuning in.
Oh my God, I wish we could post that other video.
I know, right? Thank you for tuning in to Journey Undefined, where we ask the questions and answer them together when it comes to this path called life. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.